Kyurem has made its way back into Pokemon Go, which means we need to know how good is this Pokemon. Is it going to be worth our energy, resources, and time to be able to power up? But more importantly, there's a brand new move which is going to be GlACIATE to see if this Pokemon is going to be worth even more than what it has been with Blizzard, Dragon Claw, and Draco Meteor. So with all that said, let's get right into the video. So Kyurem is on its way back in Pokemon Go, so we have over about 2 weeks to be able to catch this Pokemon, and that means it also has a brand new moveset which is going to be GlACIATE. So this Pokemon's move is actually going to be relatively effective. So for this move in PvP, it's going to be doing a damage of 60 with lowering the opponent's attack, which is pretty cool. It's very similar to Icy Wind as it operates in PvP. And as far as PvE goes, which means as a meta attacker, which we will check out both of these standpoints to see where it has influenced this Pokemon's move is going to be doing a damage of 160, which compared to Blizzard is 130. So this move is more powerful than is the Blizzard counterpart. However, it is a 1-bar charge, and I'm not typically the most fond of 1-bar charge moves, but if they prove that this move is very effective, I can't argue with the stats, even though I would prefer to have those 2-bar charge siphoned up, such as Outrage, because then it allows you, if your Pokemon is taking a lot of damage, to be able to get half of that move off than having to die out with half of the energy saved up, which is always problematic for me. So let's get into this Pokemon right now, because we have Kyurem, which does have better forms if it all stays the same with the stats and the movesets in black and the white versions, but this is going to be the normal version that keeps coming back, and I don't understand why we don't have the black or the white version out. But if you guys do need more raid battles, you can check in the pinned comments below, jump into the Discord, or you can check out the Patreon down there to get you more exclusive access, because guys, the raids are fun. This is a fun time, and Kyurem is a great shiny, and hopefully, if everything goes as planned, in my mind, the Kyurem XL candy will be able to be used for the black or the white version. Not positive, but I'm just saying there's a big potential that that may happen, and I sure hope so. We'll see. But beyond that, this Pokemon, being Dragon and an Ice type Pokemon, is going to max out at 4,041 with an attack value of 246, a defense of 170, and a stamina of 245. So we're looking pretty relatively even keel about this Pokemon. So for the Master League, looks pretty good as of right now. So this Pokemon is actually going to have 5 total weaknesses, which are going to be Steel, Rock, Fighting, Fairy, as well as Dragon, and then it's going to have 3 resistances, no double weakness, no double resistance. Its 3 resistances are going to be Electric, Grass, as well as Water. And the one thing I'm going to point out here is Dragons are typically going to be weak to Ice. However, Ice resists Ice. So with it being a Dragon and an Ice type combination, it is now going to be only neutral to Ice. We'll still take relatively decent neutral damage to this. However, it is not going to be weak and take additional damage, which is a positive for this Pokemon. And the moveset of this Pokemon is going to be Dragon Breath and Steel Wing for the fast moves. However, thinking about these fast moves, since it's going to be Dragon and an Ice type combination, unfortunately it is not going to get an Ice type quick move, which is going to slightly take away its damage potential, especially being that it does get GlACIATE. That is definitely a little bit more powerful, but that doesn't mean that we should definitely power up this Pokemon, which we will check out here in a second. If you guys don't care about meta attackers or GBL Pokemon, you can check the timestamps of this video as well to skip around to where best suits you. Alright, so then the charge moves. What are going to be the charge moves for this Pokemon? We do have Blizzard that we did talk about. We're going to get Dragon Claw PvP move, and then we are also going to get Draco Meteor, which is a meta attacker move. Unfortunately for this Pokemon, it does not get something that is a little bit more meta relevant as far as a Dragon attacker moveset, but at the same time, that means it would have to go up against Zekrom, Reshiram, Kyurem, Rayquaza, and other Pokemon out there, including Shadow Salamence and Shadow Dragonite, which is not going to be able to compete against. So with these moveset combination, let's not forget about GlACIATE as one of the movesets. That's 160 damage as opposed to 130 in the Ice type category. So when we do check it out shortly here in the Ice types, we cannot use the Ice fast moves. We can only use the Ice charge moves, which will slightly differ which Pokemon we're going to be able to get. But also that means we also have to kind of take into account Mega Mewtwo at some point, but Shadow Mewtwo and regular Mewtwo, because it does get Ice Beam as well. And even though it's not stab, that doesn't mean it can't put out a lot of damage here. So now let's check out this Pokemon. As far as its best moveset in the ER category, which is going to be a better combination of DPS times TDO to make sure we don't favor tankiness. The best combination moveset is going to be Dragon Breath and GlACIATE at 4275, followed closely by Steel Wing and GlACIATE, 40.21. Then we're going to get the double Dragon with Draco Meteor, 37.71, and then Dragon Breath and Blizzard at 36.78. So if we look at this for face value, for an ER value, up 6 points is actually really significant. So I'm actually really excited to see where this Pokemon does sit as far as an an ice type counter. I'm just, guys, going to give you the straight up facts about it as a meta attacker for dragon category. It's not going to compete with anything. It's way far down on the list. It's not even worth checking out. But what is worth checking out is this brand new moveset of GlACIATE, and where does this sit this Pokemon? So at the top, we have Black Kyurem, not out yet. In the next part, we have the Zen mode of the Galarian Darmanitan with Ice Fang and Avalanche. That's all ice type. 46.3 out, also not out yet. White Kyurem, Dragon Breath and Blizzard, 45.95. Shadow Mamoswine is the Pokemon that is out with Mudslap and Avalanche at 40.07. Followed by Calyrex, which is also not out yet, but then we have Kyurem with Dragon Breath and GlACIATE at 42.75 as the second most powerful ice type attacker out right now, behind Shadow Weavile with the Snarl and Avalanche at 42.54, and then we have the regular Mamoswine at Mudslap Avalanche at 38.76, Galarian Darmanitan, Ice Fang and Avalanche at 37.87, and then further down the list. So right off the bat, guys, we are looking at a very bumped up Kyurem. That is very impressive in Pokemon Go. Extremely impressive. It's right behind the Shadow form. But let's also check out where does it sit as far as these other Pokemon combined with the Mewtwo, because there's not only all ice types that are going to be effective here. So we have Mega Mewtwo Y and Mega Mewtwo X at the top at 50.1 with the Ice Beam and 48.51. Then we have the Black Kyurem, then we have the Darmanitan, then we have the White Kyurem, then we have Primal Kyogre, also not out yet, but it does have Blizzard at 45.59, but that's obviously a Primal, which is basically a Mega. Shadow Mamoswine in there, Shadow Mewtwo coming in right above the Kyurem, and then on the second page, if we look at the bottom in the 10th spot overall, including all these other Pokemon, we actually have the Dragon Breath and GlACIATE on the Kyurem at 42.75. So obviously, if you are using a Mewtwo that is a Shadow and it has Side Strike, you may be able to consider putting Ice Beam on that Pokemon because it's very effective. But as far as the Mega Mewtwo goes, I'm suggesting that you guys have multiple Mega Mewtwo's. Number one, that's going to be an all Side Strike that you can use other moves. Number two, you could have an all Side Strike that has also Shadow Ball on that, so you can use other moves. And those are the two primary moves, but the secondary moves are going to be another third Mewtwo. This is what I would recommend, that you are going to have Mega Mewtwo with Side Strike, and then you're going to be able to have a second move that you can change up, whether it be Flamethrower, whether it be Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Focus Blast, or anything else. So at least two Mewtwo's would be most effective. You could have the all Side Strike and Shadow Ball combination, then you have the Side Strike and the optional change up moveset right there, because it is very effective here. So what would I suggest as far as meta attackers? I mean, honestly, guys, let's check it out in PvP and see where it does sit. Do I suggest that you guys have multiple of these powered up? No, but having one powered up with GlACIATE honestly does look good. I don't have the hundo yet, so it's really enticing me right now to get the hundo during this round. As far as the PvP stats go, it cannot get into the Great League because we don't have one that is actually low enough to get there, but it can get into the Ultra League, which is going to make it rank 31 in Pokemon Go with Dragon Breath, GlACIATE, and Dragon Claw, which is pretty impressive. But then, where do we go next? Into the Master League. In the Master League, it's actually going to be ranked 4 overall. Wow, that's insane. With Dragon Breath, GlACIATE, Dragon Claw, same exact moveset, but think about this. If you have one maxed out for the Master League, it's already getting Dragon Breath and GlACIATE, which is his top meta attacker moveset, and then if we also use it combined with Dragon Claw, GlACIATE, you're having all the most effective movesets for this Pokemon. Even though technically Draco Meteor hits harder, it's only about 1 ER point differential between the Draco Meteor and the Dragon Claw, so I'm going with, yes, power 1 all the way up if you like the way this Pokemon plays in GBL. If you do not, maybe skip out on this, but guys, this Pokemon has gotten a significant bump, and it is definitely going to be worth some resources, even though at some point the Black and the White are going to take it out if all things maintain the same, which I do expect it to. The Darmanitan is going to be very effective as well. I can't wait to see how they're going to integrate that into the game, but as of right now, highly suggest you guys definitely consider this Pokemon in Pokemon Go. I would max one out as soon as I get that 100% IV. So thank you guys for being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and space to us. Love to see you guys out in the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.